All right, this is Tracy. I'm going to do one more. This is for Tracy. I have suffered from ulcerative colitis since 1984. Holy crap! And you don't have colon cancer now? I mean, these acids chew you so bad since 1984. You've got to be one hurting puppy, Tracy. I am in my 50s and have just recently became a vegetarian. Oh, and no one told you? Oh, man. All that meat eating all these years on top of ulcerative colitis? Oh, my God. Oh, I have been on drugs and pregnancy. Ow! On and off. See, steroids, anti-inflammatory. So if you're on an anti-inflammatory, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? I have inflammation. For you guys, you know the truth. You just simply replace inflammation with the word acidosis in your home. You know exactly what side of chemistry is causing this. You know exactly what system is involved with this. You're right down the line. And these guys should know too. But no, give them prednisone. Let them wreck their adrenals that are already weak. Let's just take them on down to Hellville. And that's just what's going on here, honey. You're 50 years old. You've been hunking down on your adrenals the wrong way, because those are the ones you need to trip the kidneys up to move this out in the first place. And if someone puts you on a steroid, my first question is doesn't my adrenals produce these type of corticosteroids? Then how the hell isn't my adrenals fixing this problem? Oh, they're down. Then how can you fix them? By giving me more steroids? That fixes them? And off over the years due to flare-ups. Remember, this is interstitial lymphatic constipation, and meaning you're highly acidic around your cells. The next stage is intracellular acidosis, and there's only one word that you call when that happens to a great extent. We use the word cancer for that one. You need to get this fixed up, sweetheart. And then yesterday, I have the type that starts with mucus and ends in bleeding. Mucus. What system are we dealing with here? Blood. No, you were wrong. Lymph. No, I got you. You said lymph in the first place. It is lymph. You see what I'm saying? You're always going to bleed. That acidosis is always going to rip on the capillaries and going to break them down. So you're always going to see that bleeding part of that. But bleeding does bring an alkalinity to the area. That's why you have bloodletting and bleeding, because it cools down that hot acid side. I have been doing well with the vegetarian diet and have started to wean myself off the drugs. I would like yesterday, but I would move far up the line. Probably stay away from your acid fruits, but I'd go to your sweet, your subacid. I'd go to your melons. I would go to some berries. If you can tolerate them, I don't know if you can tolerate them with the seeds, but try to tolerate them. Apples, fresh applesauce, things like that. Things that heal and cool, alkalize, things like that. Yeah, and get those kidneys filtering, get your adrenals. You're going to have to hunt. This is a case, guys, where you want to use the adrenal glandular, because she's been on prednisone for years, off and on. That is an adrenal wrecker. And so you want to build her adrenals up. The problem already was in the adrenal glands. So what they did is they just used a chemical product that matches type corticosteroids, although it has a lot of different actions. But that's what you want to get, is pop up her adrenals. So that's where you would use a 400 milligram adrenal glandular, and at the same time go after the kidneys and get them filtering and get everything up and going. I would definitely use the stomach and bowel formulas, and start getting that inflammation out, cleaning the bowel wall off. Even though this is interstitial, you want to get the lymph moving that way and get your lymph nodes opened up and stuff. But definitely, you want to cool off the mucosa too. And cooling off the mucosa can be done with the stomach and bowel formula. It can be done with the stomach formula. It can be done with the Heal All capsules. Even the GI broom is as astringent as that is. It's all on the mucosa, which is where the mucus is coming from. And it's just you're highly inflamed. You're backed up lymphatically, and you have to open all your doors and clean yourself out. Just recently, and this is why you never do proteins on top of any type of GI tract problems. That would be insanity, to say the very least. And yet I see one medical doctor after another recommending high proteins with all these things, and it's like either you're going to low-grade medical doctors or that's just, they just don't get it. I noticed that I ache everywhere, and I'm not sure if it's because of the meds or if the meds were covering some underlying health issues. Well, think about what you just said. Remember, the system you're having trouble with is systemic. So you're going to have trouble, not just interstitially in the colon. You're going to have trouble head to toe, some degree or another. So you're just feeling that. You're just feeling that. So as you start opening up your kidney filtration of this lymph system, and you start hydrating interstitially with a base-dominant diet, you're going to see this movement of acids and the hydration interstitially and the movement of these acids more through the kidney channels, and then all the symptoms disappearing, all the inflammatory problems, and then any tissue damage can be repaired. Hard to repair tissue in an acidic medium. The body keeps trying, but generally just scars or develops adhesions in these areas. I admit that I like my beer and red wine, but I am trying to knock them off my list. Well, knock beer off, but if you want to keep a robust, organic red wine, sulfite-free, I have no problems with that. But if you have fungus, don't bitch. I was raised on a dairy farm. Oh, you poor girl. Oh, my God. Say no more. Say no more. You know, my sister wanted to do dairy cattle. Only took her about a year, and then they got a loan from FHA, and they got like 50 head. But it's like, my dad was going, "You're nuts." You know, he was an old dairy farmer, and he's going, "You're crazy." You know, dairy farmers, you're locked to your job permanently. That's not, you don't travel, you don't have fun unless you get somebody to milk your cows for you. I was raised on a dairy farm and drank a lot of milk unpasteurized. Doesn't matter. You're loaded. I can tell you what your lymph system looks right now. You got some work to unwind, I'm telling you, honey. So unwind. I also would suffer from large red and very painful sores, but would go away with a teaspoon of baking soda. See how that is? Why would it go away with baking soda? Other side of chemistry? Other side of chemistry. So right in our face, this is acidosis, medicals. Right in our face. Not alkalosis, acidosis. Another little proof, just another little proof right here. You know, in water, my father was plagued with painful boils and found this to work because it's antacid. This is bicarbonate, and that's why it works, because your problem is acidosis. But lots and lots of mucus. Lots of mucus from this, and your dad's probably loaded. If he's popping boils all over the place, he's loaded with mucus. He's loaded with lymph. That's the problem. That's not good. Typical dairy farmers, though, to be honest with you, what I see here. What would your suggestion be for me? I'm finding the vegetable juices and eating raw to be very gassy and hard on my stomach. Go to your fruits, your berries, and your melons. Smaller meals, more often. Chew, super chew, because this is suggestion that you might also, sweetheart, have a pancreatic problem, because when you have ulcerative colitis, that means that your lymph system in your colon wall is backed up and sitting and burning back on you. Well, guess where else? Small bowel, pancreas, gallbladder, liver, stomach, esophagus. We can go right on down the jawbone connected to the, because it's a systemic problem. You can't just back up in one area when you have a systemic flood and you shut off the eliminative organ to that. The whole system backs up all the way to the brain. And the gassy part of that I don't like. Suggesting, I don't know, you had a lot of lipids. It could be your gallbladder. But then on the other hand, you got that much mucus, your absorption probably sucks. And you probably have very little fatty acid absorption since you have major stagnation lymphatically in the gut. You're probably not getting hardly any lipids to that liver. I also noticed that my eyes went from brown to hazel to dark blue ring around the dark outside. Sick and tired of being sick, Tracy. Well, Tracy, let's fix ourselves, okay, sweetheart? You got to get in on that lymph system and get it moving. You just you've had a mucus forming diet, a major mucus forming diet all your life. So you've got to get rid of all the mucus, head to toe. And you're going to see a lot in your stool. You're going to see a lot in your urine. You might see a lot coming out the nose, vaginally, belly button, ears, mouth, eyes. Very important, sweetheart, that you get all this mucus out of you. No one ever told your father you don't feed milk, cow milk to children, especially even raw. You don't feed a ton and a half animal's milk to a little baby, human baby. You want to feed your baby an animal milk, go milk a monkey, female monkey, if you can catch her and get that. So we have to go to a herbivore, a totally different species, because they're gentle and sweet. Yeah. Oh, so you got to get your kidneys filtering. You got to get your adrenal glands up there. You got to get this colitis out of there. You got to get all this inflammation out of your body. Get your pancreas and gallbladder, everything up, digesting better, because this is going to show you some malabsorption, a whole bunch of things here. Because this is the stuff that cancers or lymphomas are made of. Not trying to scare you, but I'm saying this is the lymphoma city type. Milk drinkers, and I was one of them too. Not on a dairy farm, but I drank milk. We were farmers. But initially we had farms where they raised dairy cattle on them. Thank God there was a guy milking for us, so we didn't have to do that. But then it went to hog farms. So you can get yourself well, honey. Now, what's this? I also noticed that my eyes went from brown. You mean hazel? Brown to hazel? Well, that's an improvement. If your eyes went from brown to hazel, that's an improvement. Now, to dark blue ring around the dark outside. Well, how old are you? I am in my 50s. I'd have to see your eyes to see what you're saying to me, Tracy, but it's possible you're looking at a skin ring. I don't think it's a cholesterol ring because that's a white translucent ring. But I will say this, it also could be a poor circulation ring. Let me show you what a cholesterol ring looks like in a brown eye. See that white around the brown? That is a cholesterol ring. That is stroke and heart attack anytime. A blue eye, see the ring around the outside border? And you will tend to see a little haziness in the pupil. That's cataract. That is the same stuff as this, and these both are cholesterol. Yeah, those are all cholesterol rings. Don't want to none of that. Not too good. So I don't know which one you have. You'd have to show me your eyes. You can send it to Jen B and said that I made a statement over this, telling your name, Tracy, and that you mentioned you had brown eyes to turn to blue, because I won't forget that. Your brown eyes turned to hazel, and then a blue ring. Get a picture to Jen B and I'll take a look at them and just see what it is.